Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. Welcome to Throwback Thursday. We are at Baxter Cycle in the Vintage Cycle Room. And today we've got a 1968 Norton Commando 750. Look at that hot rod. It's been restored. Just glistening. Isn't that just a beautiful machine? Shiny in every way, isn't it? The Norton Commando 750 in 68, the first year of the bike, had this Fastback, they call it, on the back end. That interesting wraparound seat instead of knee pads. The tank and the tail cone were fiberglass. But anyway, what a beautiful, beautiful looking machine, isn't it? Just very classic looking. I love everything about it. Look at that brake. Just gorgeous in every way. Check out those pipes. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous machine. So what is this thing? Well, it's got the same motor as the original 750 Atlas. It's a 745cc, 9-to-1 compression, 2-cylinder, parallel twin, air-cooled. It's got Amal Series 930, I think, 30mm carburetors. And if you look at this, well, we'll talk more about that in a second. Anyway, air-cooled. It's got a 4-speed box. The transmission is separate from the engine. Kickstart only. Just an absolutely gorgeous thing. I think this engine was supposed to put out about 58 horsepower, 2 valves per cylinder, 1 intake, 1 exhaust. Just a gorgeous thing. I think of this as art. If you look at just the, I can only imagine when they were carving this out of wood to make the molds or clay or whatever they used. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous thing. So, like I said, air-cooled engine, overhead valves, cams are down here somewhere. This is a tack drive that runs off one of the cams. The cams do push rods that are in here somewhere, or maybe back here, I don't know. But there's push rods that actuate the valves, and the cams are down here, like I said. The engine on the Nortons, and this year, the Atlas, I think the motors were more up vertical. They canted the engine forward, I think 15 degrees or something like that. And because they did that, they had to get these curved intake manifolds. Otherwise, the carburetors would have been jetting up into the tank area. Like I said, I think those are Amal 30mm concentric cars. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's a coil drive motorcycle. 2 coils, one on top of the other. One here, one up here. Just a gorgeous looking machine. I'm just, this is what I live for, people. These were the, I think it was the first year of the, I think it's called, let me see my notes here, isoelastic suspension system. And that's this big mount on the front here. And there's supposed to be something on the back of the transmission. And there was something in the reading about the swing arm, and I wasn't really clear on what it was. But if you look back here, there's kind of stuff back there. I just don't know what it is. But the idea was, same engine as before, same everything. But the way this was mounted, it isolated the rider from the vibration, particularly at mid-range and high RPMs. A little bit of vibration at low end, almost smooth at mid-range and higher RPMs. And that allowed the rider to ride longer without fatigue, and also to get more, a little more RPM out of it, I believe. But quite a bike, quite a bike. I said already, twin coil. This had an alternator. I'm assuming it ran off the primary drive on this side. The clutch on this is originally it was a multi-plate clutch over here, but then I guess they went to a diaphragm clutch, and there was some reading, some peculiarities about that, and I just don't know enough about it to share that with you. But something interesting that I can share with you is if you look at this primary cover, there's a chain in there, the clutch is over here somewhere. Notice there's no screws holding it on anywhere. And that's because it has a single bolt in the middle, right there. And that's what holds this cover on. It's kind of pressed in. Very interesting design, I thought. Unique. I've really never seen anything like that before. I think this is an engine vent right here. Of course, here we, look up here, you can see the oil lines, that bend in the manifold, the fuel lines, new fuel lines. You can see the distributor over yonder. Just a gorgeous machine. I believe that's a distributor. I love, while we're here, let's look at this. This is kind of like classic art to me. The long, the long brake lever here. The mechanism to actuate, to attach the foot peg, the mechanism to actuate the brake, the cable back here, the adjusting system over yonder, just great, just great. Absolutely beautiful. This is a side cover on this side. That's where I think the battery is and some electronics. On this side it would be a oil tank. This is a dry sump motor. So this is an oil tank right here. Here's a drain plug for it. Kickstart, of course. Look at this giant cast piece right here. Isn't that just amazing? Just a beautiful thing. Shocks on the back. I could not find any numbers on suspension travel or anything like that, or shock diameter. Interestingly, the brake, I believe on the front is an 8-inch drum, twin leading shoe, cable actuated here, pulls this lever, 2 shoe actuators, one up here, one down here. It gives the brake more efficient working. This looks like an intake system, and these look like exhaust ports. But apparently on this model, on any models that weren't racing, these are actually blocked off. So it looks like it's got the vent, but it's actually a blocked off item. They don't want rainwater getting in while you're rolling down the road. But again, I just love the way these brakes look. Isn't that just beautiful? Then I was looking at these these are rims, by the way, and I don't know what this stands for here. It says CWC, but that little British flag emblem there. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Tire size on this is a 3x19 on the front, and the rear had a 3.5x19, so it had 19s front and rear. A drum brake on the back. I think the drum on the rear was a 7-inch, and the okay, so the actuating mechanism, we looked at that a minute ago back here. Here you can see the drum itself. This is a speedo drive right here. The cable's gone right there. Actually, the cable is over yonder. They're going to put it on. I just love the way this stuff looks. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous thing. Okay, some nut and bolts information on this bike. 57.1-inch wheelbase. That's 1,313 millimeters. Had a 31.3-inch seat height. That's 795 millimeters. And it weighed 431 pounds. That's 195 kilograms. So some pretty respectable numbers back in the day, today even, and also pretty good power, 58 horsepower. I like it a lot. You know, if you look in here, you can see the air cleaner back here. Nice gigantic air cleaner. Like I said, the oil tank. Must be a pump inside here driven. Ah yes, because on these bikes, when you run the bike, this little doodad here pops out and that lets you know you have pressure. If that isn't sticking out, then you don't have any oil pressure. Kind of an odd place to put it, but that's where it is. This I mentioned earlier is the mechanical tack drive up to here. But just look at that styling. Just a gorgeous thing. Okay, coming up here, let's look at this. Instrumentation, brand new speedometer, 000s. Just a gorgeous looking thing. Tachometer, it goes up to 9,000. I don't know what the red line is on these. The probably a headlight switch right here, an amp meter. I'm not sure what that is. Might be a high beam light. Over here we probably have that could be a high beam or it could be a kill switch. This is a horn. I don't see a kill switch anywhere else. This is choke for sure. But so that's all your instrumentation. Okay, horn, kill switch, or high beam. I'll bet that's a kill switch. These nice barrel grips. I just love these barrel grips. Very comfortable. That's what I'm going to put on my Triumph. I'm working on a Triumph right now. Mechanical brake, I already showed you that. There's adjustment for that brake. Mechanical clutch, of course. Just a beautiful thing. Just a beautiful thing. Just let that all soak in. I think I already pointed out the braided, let's see if I can get some picture of that. The braided brake lines. I don't think they came from the factory like that, of course, but isn't that neat down there? Just beautiful work all the way around. I love the way those, like I said, the manifolds are angled so you get the carbs in. Those are the ticklers for the carbs right there. That button right there. Ticklers allows fuel into the carbs so you can start the bike easier. Let's see what else we can spot here. I wonder if this is part of that ISO whatever suspension, engine suspension thing to keep the bike running smoother. Just anyway, very, very nice. I love all the details on these older bikes. Just a gorgeous thing. Very good, very classic lines. A beautiful thing, a beautiful thing. Avon Speedmaster tires. Wow. I love it. I love it. Look at how the seat, you got this bump out on the back over the Fastback cone, and then you've got these wraparounds here. This beautiful shape to the tank, hourglass tank. The chrome headlight, of course, chrome fenders. Very classic looking machine. I love it. That's quite a bike, isn't it? Hey, thanks for coming to Throwback Thursday. Get out there and ride. I'm going to go do the same. Wahoo!